Hey guys, Sean here with Brawlbros2.0, joined by fitness influencer Roy Georges, and in this video we're going to talk about something a little bit different. We're going to talk about a fight that's been trending lately, and that's Ben Askren versus Jake Paul. I'm doing this video for a few reasons. One is I'm just riding YouTube trends, and also because I think you guys will learn something unique here, because we're going to be talking about two guys that are not really excellent boxers. We're not talking about the Floyd Mayweathers of the world. We're not talking about the Conor McGregors of the world, right? Guys in their respective sports. We're talking about guys who are just okay at striking, which may be the position that some of you guys are in. So some of the lessons here are something that you could take away and add them to your sparring sessions, add them to your training sessions, and just learn more about the sport in general. So with that being said, let's get into it. Jake Paul has been training boxing, but he's really not a fighter. That's the biggest difference between these two. Well, Ben Askren is not really a boxer. His whole MMA style revolved around wrestling, so he would just try to touch you so he could grab you, right? It revolved around wrestling, but he is a fighter. He's been in high-pressure situations. He's had to overcome adversity, and Jake Paul never really had that. He's fought one YouTuber in one fight and a basketball player who's never boxed in another fight, and a retired basketball player at that, right? So any success that he's had in combat sports isn't really any real success. He hasn't really had to face adversity. And I think Ben Askren is right in trying to test him and thinking that wearing him down is going to be the way to go, and that's exactly the way to go. So the first thing he's going to want to do is he's going to want to drown him. He's going to want to put the pressure on him. So Jake Paul, because he's taller, he's going to want to keep distance, right? So what Jake Paul's probably going to do is be forced to back up, right? And so what Askren has to do is constantly keep the pressure on him, right? So let's say, get a little closer. So let's say Jake Paul starts backing away. What Ben Askren has to do is always be within punching range. He has to pressure him and put that mental pressure on him. But he can't just come forward in his zombie style. He has to move his head, right? So let's say Jake Paul tries to keep him off with the jab. Boom, he has to slip those punches. He has to block them, right? And he has to walk Jake Paul down. He has to smother him, right? He has to constantly step in. But in the beginning, I don't recommend that he really go for attacks too much, right? He wants to keep him worried about punches and keep coming in and tagging him to the body, but he wants to mostly just keep the pressure because the kid has pop. If there's anything we learned about him, he has pop in his hands, and he's explosive early. Like most guys who just start training, they're explosive early because they blow their load early. They're trying to get you out of there because of all that nervous energy. So what he's going to have to do is smother him. And anytime you're fighting somebody that's an explosive fighter, try to smother him and put that mental pressure on him the same way Khabib did to Justin Gaethje, right? But don't engage. Just keep that pressure on him and defend. Have him worried about shots, but don't try to really get into exchanges. Just keep that mental pressure, keep that physical pressure, and wear him down over the course of the fight. Now, as he's pressuring him, what he's going to want to do is dig to the body in order to wear him down further, right? So what he wants to do is, as he smother him, get past the jab, right? So let's say Jake is shooting his jab, right? In this case, you come in, boom, come in, intercept, and then smother, right? Come in here and just start pounding away at the body. Work on the inside, right? He's going to try to come up. Jake is definitely going to try to throw that uppercut. He's going to try to throw those hooks on the inside. So he's going to have to be careful about getting out of the way of those shots and digging that body constantly. Get him on the ropes and dig, and hit him in the arms. That's one thing Jake's not used to. His sparring partners are probably trying to teach him so much boxing, they don't teach dirty boxing. And Ben is really good at fighting in the clinch because of the way he fights MMA, right? He's always trying to get in on the inside and do some dirty boxing. He's actually had success against a lot of great strikers in the cage doing this. Even though he's not a great striker himself, he's had a lot of great success, right? So if we come in here, what he has to do is get past those long, rangy arms of Jake's and come in and start pounding away on that body. Next thing Ben's going to want to do is not be a sitting target. His striking style in MMA is very much zombie-like. It's a plotting style where he just kind of walks down. He's okay with taking one, right, as long as he can get his hands on you. That's because he has a good chin. Outside of his fight with Masvidal, he's been hit by some of the toughest guys, and he took their punches well, and he was able to get on the inside past those punches, right? So he doesn't want to do that here, right? Because all Jake is doing is training boxing. He's probably training distance. He's getting ready for Ben Askren. Right, so he has to make sure he expects a ready Jake Paul. He makes sure that he doesn't underestimate him. And he has to come in with his head movement, right? He has to come in. I know he's going to fight like this. He's not going to fight with both hands up. And he has to come in. So if he's shooting that jab, right, I'm moving my head. And as I'm walking down, I'm moving my head constantly. And not in the same pattern, right? Roll very Joe Frazier style. Just roll your head, work those head movements, and feint a lot, right? Shoot those shots. Have him expecting something. Don't just be a sitting target. So as he walks down, he's gonna have to move those punches, move that head, and constantly be in a fluid motion, right? As you're coming down, you wanna boom, 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 and move that head. That's how he's gonna avoid getting hit, because Jake is not good at timing. He's still an inexperienced fighter, so if you move that head, you're gonna create problems for him, you're gonna make him look foolish, and most of all, you're gonna drain his stamina from all those missed punches. Now, one thing Jake loves to do, and he's done it in both of his fights, is to tie up. He doesn't like fighting on the inside. He prefers a long jab, a long hook, his straight right, and his overhand, right? He doesn't like to fight on the inside. So as soon as Ben's gonna get on the inside, Jake's gonna grab him. He's gonna tie up, right? He's gonna hold him until the ref breaks him up. So to avoid that, what Ben's gonna have to do is when he gets on the inside and Jake tries to go for the grab, boom, catch him with those shots and create that distance here. And if he does grab him successfully, right, what he wants to do is do a little dirty boxing, right? Hit him on that hip, right? When the ref's not looking, hit him on that hip. Do things that hit him in the back, not in the back of the head maybe, but right there, right? Just hit him in places that are uncomfortable. Make it an uncomfortable place to be. Work on that body, right? Work on shots coming in on the inside and try to intercept those tie-ups, right? When he's coming in on the inside, boom, hit him and then pound him out, right? Pound him out of there. And one thing that the people don't know about Ben Askren is he is heavy-handed. I've watched back some of his fights in preparation for this video, and he doesn't look pretty, but one thing I will tell you, from Douglas Lima to some of the other, even Robbie Lawler, guys are wary of his strikes. They don't want to get hit by him. That's because he's a strong guy. He doesn't look like a physical specimen, but he's a strong guy, and his punches, you could feel them, right? He had everybody worried about his shots. I've never seen a guy be really able to walk through his shots. So if he can keep Jake worried, right, especially when he tries to go in for that tie-up on the inside, boom, keep him worried, and then pound away on his hip, pound away on his shoulders, whatever he can get, he's going to wear the kid down, he's going to break him down mentally, because this is the first time he's going to have to face adversity as a fighter, a kid that has a lot to lose, right? We're not talking about a fighter who comes from the streets of Philippines, who's putting rocks in his pockets just to make weight. We're talking about a kid who comes from wealth, who comes from wealth from doing videos at that, right? He's going to have a tough time adjusting to something that can potentially be risking his life, right? So if Ben can push him to those brinks by doing things that are dirty, by frustrating him, and by most importantly, mentally draining him with that frustration, he can win this fight. The thing Ben really has to do is not underestimate Jake. He has to know that an improved version of Jake Paul is coming to the ring with him. One, Jake is nervous about fighting an actual fighter, so he's going to be more prepared for this fight. And he does have seasoned veterans around him. He has great boxing coaches. He has great boxers working with him. There's a lot of people in his corner helping him get better, right? So he has to not underestimate him. And because of that, he can't expect the same punches. I know if they study the two fights that Jake had, they're going to expect the jab. They're going to expect the long hook, right? That little long check hook that he throws, that he's caught people with. They're going to expect that overhand that he knocked out Nate Robinson with. And that straight right. Those are his favorite punches, right? But they don't want to just prepare for that. Because watching Jake's training footage leading up to this fight, I can tell you, whoever's in his corner is smart, because they know that Ben Askren leans forward a little bit and he comes down plotting, and they know he's going to come on the inside, right? So Jake's been working on that right uppercut and that left hook combination, right? So he wants to catch him, push his head up with that uppercut, and then shoot that left hook and get him out of there. And if not out of there, he wants him to be worried about coming in on the inside. He wants to constantly be able to catch him with that pop, pop, right, combination. So what Ben Askren has to do is work on his intercepting punches, right? So in this case, we'll slide around to show you what I mean. So let's say he shoots that right uppercut. What I want to do is, boom, get out of the way. This way, I'm out of the way of the left hook, and I'm out of the way of the uppercut, and on the way, I tag him, right? So if let's show from a different angle, right? So when we go, he shoots that right uppercut, boom, I intercept, and then I can come to the body and I can follow up with my own shots, and that's what Ben needs to do, is just keep it dirty. And he needs to learn how to do those intercepting shots. It doesn't matter what it is, even if it's the jab, right? He throws the jab, he needs to learn how to come in, and this way, he's on the inside, right? He really has to practice those intercepting shots and getting really good with timing. And because he's an actual fighter, he's been in more fights, he's more experienced, his timing is going to be much better than Jake Paul's, and that's where he has the advantage. He may not be as fast or explosive, but his timing is way better, and timing always beats speed, right? So let's say he throws a right hand, right? Boom, come in with your own right hand, and just pound away at that body, and pound away with those shots on the inside. He has to get this fight on the inside. He has to get him tired, wear him down, hit him everywhere on the body, make him mentally break, And the only way he's gonna do that is if he follows the fundamentals of getting on the inside, follows the fundamentals of pressure fighting, and gets Jake at it. The key for Ben Askren is going to be to win the mental battle. This really is going to be a mental battle. Skill-wise, I would say it's pretty close, right? Ben Askren is not an elite boxer, but I do give him the advantage over Jake Paul. And if Jake Paul can pull this fight off, all credit to him. But if Ben Askren can follow some of these tips, if he sees this video, he should follow these tips. And honestly, if he's been training with guys like Freddie Roach, they know the deal. They know how he can win this fight. He's been training with guys like Gabriel Rosado, who's an excellent pressure fighter, excellent boxer in general. And overall, the opportunity for him to win is there. But I also wanted to share this with you guys so you guys can see some of the things that you want to work on if you want to fight guys who are more rangy or maybe who are more explosive or whatever the case is. There's definitely some gems in here for you guys to learn.
And before we get out of here, I want to say thank you guys again for joining us. Shahan, my brothers, for always having me on here. I wanted to let you guys know, please check out my YouTube channel, Royal Elite TV. I have tons of content rolling out still. For you guys who want to be aesthetic, trying to get lean, ladies, if you're trying to get that toned body, please check it out. I have tons of content still coming in for the next couple of days. So, yeah, thank you guys.
For sure. And don't forget to check out the Fight Store and all the other links in the description below. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok. I do more short form content on there. A lot of stuff that you see here, but in a quick 30 to 1 minute clips that you guys will enjoy. Other than that, I'm Sean Brawl Brothers. This is Roy Georges. I'll brawl with you guys next time.